You don't have to qualify for the PACT Act in order to win your service connection automatically without a Nexus letter. Today we're going to unveil sort of the mysterious world of semi-presumptive conditions that you can win with no need for a Nexus letter right now. I'm Jordan Anderson, VAClaimsAcademy.com. Let's get right into it. So I know it sounds almost too good to be true, winning a VA claim with basically a new diagnosis, maybe you didn't even have records from in-service, without having to spend cash on a Nexus letter, without doing that whole rigmarole. Well, it is possible. Even again, if you're not qualified, I know the PACT Act presumptive conditions list has been huge for a lot of people, where you automatically get granted service connection for certain, conditions within that list. But a lot of you aren't qualified for that. So this is where this notion of semi-presumptive conditions comes into play. Now, just to be clear, this is a term that I made up, right? This is what I call the conditions that aren't on the PACT Act presumptive list. However, you could still get service connection for with little effort. Here's what they are. Here's what I mean by it. As a part of your service in the military, certain jobs, were exposed to certain different types of conditions. Of course, let's say you were working in the motor pool all day. You had loud noises in the background all the time. Well, now maybe you have ringing in your ears. Maybe you have some hearing loss. That's not necessarily, ironclad on the presumptive conditions list, no. But it's something that you can start building a claim on and have that noise exposure connected to your job and have what's called, again, a semi-presumptive. That's what we're calling these. Let's take another example. Let's say maybe you were air assault, right? Maybe you're rappelling out of helicopters, you're jumping out of airplanes, or maybe you're just infantry carrying around that 70-pound pack all the time, going on road marches. This can all be really valid evidence to your claim, but people just don't know how to properly present that. A lot of veterans expect the VA to go out of their way and form this narrative that's favorable to the veteran on their own. No, you gotta be able to identify which, is your easiest path to get service connected, what's your real path, right? And present that, hand it to them. Here's what I mean. Let's take that infantry example. Now you have back pain, or now you have maybe knee pain. This is a great opportunity to write a quality personal statement. This is on form 21-4138, where you're really focused, laser focused on how your job duties during the military have led to your back pain or your knee pain, and that you've had it ever since. This, even in the absence of a Nexus letter, could be something that's really powerful to where, one, your compensation and pension examiner, maybe you're being examined by a physician assistant or something like that, and they say, yeah, you know what, that makes sense to me. I'm going to go ahead and give you a positive Nexus opinion. Well, guess what? That could have saved you thousands of dollars on a Nexus letter, but also months of your life going through this claim process. That's how powerful these are. By the way, if you're getting value from this video, hit that like button, but definitely share this with someone who needs it. Let's do something else here. Let's think for a second what the difference is going to be with these semi-presumptives versus not. I have had clients who have saved really upwards of $6,000 by just going the semi-presumptive route over, Nexus letters. But I want to caution you and make sure that you know that a Nexus letter, introducing that with a semi-presumptive condition, is even more powerful, because again, a semi-presumptive isn't ironclad enough to where, hey, you're going to get that service connection, that's almost automatic. No, it's more of the gray area. You're leaving more room for sort of agency and the opinion of not only the CNP examiner, but also the rater at the end of the day. But here's the thing. You may want to submit it if if you're short on cash, or your doctor won't sign a Nexus letter for you, something like that. You may just want to submit one of these semi-presumptive conditions, meaning, again, just a condition that was a result of your job in the military that you can articulate and make that connection easily, right? These conditions, should be submitted first without a Nexus letter if you're struggling to get one. And here's the reason. Let's say you submit it, it gets denied here in about the next 4 months. Hey, no worries. I did, everything I could right there. now it might be time to turn up the heat. Now you can actually do a supplemental claim because you're within that 180-day window, do a supplemental claim and sort of animate that claim with your initial effective date. So meaning the day that you opened your first intent to file, that's the day that you're going to get backdated pay to once you get your increase. You could keep that date alive if this claim is denied, and then now you decide to do a supplemental claim, adding in Nexus Letters later. And maybe you got 1 or 2 approved without Nexus Letters, and you need 2 more Nexus Letters for the other 2 conditions. At that point, you're deploying your capital efficiently as possible because you're only buying what you need. Now, on the Nexus Letters note, a lot of people think that their doctors won't sign a Nexus Letter because they come and ask them empty-handed, and the doctor's looking at them like picturing, okay, I'm gonna take 40 minutes to write this guy a Nexus Letter or this girl a Nexus Letter, and I don't even know what's gonna go in it. Yeah, no chance, right? And then they make an excuse. Oh yeah, I'm conflict of interest. I can't. That's usually not the case, okay? What we have seen, and this is why we offer fully pre-written Nexus Letters based on your specific scenario as part of our packages, because when you bring in a Nexus Letter template even, these doctors will have a much better time signing these off for you. It's not that they don't want to help you a lot of times. It's 2 reasons. Either they don't want to feel like the VA is going to give them a phone call and say, hey, why did you give this opinion? So if you can put that to rest, that's one. And number 2, they don't want to spend a bunch of time on you outside of what they're already getting paid for. So just a quick parting tidbit there. Again, if this video give you value, of course I'm going to mess up my video at the very end. If this video gave you a bunch of value, please hit the like button. Definitely sound off with your thoughts below and share this with someone who needs it. Cheers.